In this lesson we're going to draw the design that you're looking at the moment, just for something for us to try and achieve, and so I can take you through how I would come up with this design, how I find it the most easiest to do. The PDF should be on your CD somewhere, so if you can't find it, give me an email and we'll try and help you out. Okay, I'll just minimize that. So basically what we're going to do, we've got 220 brick veneer external walls. If you don't want to do the design that I've just shown you, please pick something simple to begin with. There's no need to go to something too complex until you get the hang of walls. Once you get the hang of walls, you'll find that they're very easy. I tend to just start, we're just going to do this in the freehand method. I'm just picking a point to start with, and I'm just going to drag the mouse approximately what I've got on my plan in front of me. I might have to sort of go out there a little bit further, come across there about 7.5 meters. So you can see I'm not all that precise. It doesn't really matter too much. I've got to come out here about 10, down 6.4. Once you start picking a point, you can sort of just roll in. And that one there's basically a metre that way, 1800 or so that way, another metre in this direction, down 3600 or so. You can see I'm not worrying too much about it all. Along here about 15. I'm just watching the dynamic dimensions and also the commander, which is this down here. So if I come along there about 14 or 15, come up back up here about 8, come along here and then join off to finish. Right click and finish, and just roll in so it's on the screen. Just let me give you a tip here on zooming. You'll notice I do have my zooms down the bottom here. If you have nothing selected and you right click your mouse, you do have the zoom. So you can zoom to fit, which will just find the extents of the drawing. In this case it's the terrain. If I wanted to zoom around that design, I could right click and go zoom window with picking a point at the top, holding your mouse button down, and you can see it's forming a window around what I want to look in at. So if I do that again, I'll just go zoom to fit. Now the other way is you can use your roll on your mouse. Now if I move my pointer, the little arrow on the screen, and I want to zoom in on that corner, if I hold the pointer over there and roll, see how it's moving in on that point? So if I roll back and I want to say roll in on that point, move my pointer over there, it'll roll into there. So moving your pointer around, you can actually navigate the thing to where you want it to be on the screen. It's very easy. So what you should be doing is saving it, so just go File, Save. Notice it's got Project 1 up the top. We shouldn't be saving jobs as Project 1. So if I just go Save, and for this time I'm just going to save it to my desktop, and I might just call it Training. Okay, so I might just overwrite that one. Do I replace it? Yes I do. Just make sure you know where you're saving your drawings. Now what I do if I'm doing it freehand and I am copying something here, there's nothing stopping me from just getting the outside dimensions right. So if I touch a wall, any of the walls I can start with, and I just work my way around the drawing. So basically I've touched that wall there, so I've got 2 walls that I can start with. So I might start with this one here, and the distance of that is 14,750. So I just type that in. Now I've done that one. This one is correct. So now if I touch this one, there's a couple of others I can fix. So I can fix this one here, and that is 3670. So that one's correct. So now I can't move that wall and I can't move that wall. If I touch this wall, that one's right, so I can't move it. So you move on to the next one. I hope you can see how I'm going. I'm just working my way around. So naturally this dimension here is not correct. It's going to be 8010. So 8010, enter. That fixes that up. So I move to the next one, and I can fix this dimension here, which is 4440. So now I go my next one, grab that, and that is 3970. That is correct. Grab that one, that is 3070. Grab this one here. Now that is going to be 600. Notice it's almost missed me there. If I did that, I might have just dragged this one down, but anyway, I should be right, so I can just roll in on this, touch that one there, come back and grab that dimension, and that's 7580. Now grab this one here and make that external 600. Come back out. Now that one's right. Grab this here, grab that dimension, which is 10540. Again, coming close, grab the right wall. I missed it, so grab that one there, and that is 6440. Now this one is the next one, so it'll be this here, which is a meter, and this one here, 1870, is correct. See, so I'm right. So I just have to make sure that that's a meter, and everything's fine. So if I just go File, Save now, I've basically got the external of the building correct. Now at this stage, there's nothing stopping you from using this function here, which is the auto exterior dimensions. If I just pop those on and print it out, and you can just check it. Everything seems to be okay. And the beauty of the external dimensions is basically if you go and say I want to drag that out, notice how the dimensions change. They are associated until you move them. If I move them off the building, they'll lose the associativity and you won't get that. So I'll just go undo and just take that back. Alright, so that it is a good way, just running around and checking to see if everything's alright. Now I'm just looking at the drawing that we're doing, and I'm going to start doing internal walls. So if I come down here, I want to do plasterboard. They're all 70mm walls. So as I move over my walls, you can see it senses it, and it's sort of bringing up what we call the object snaps. That's what this is down the bottom here. While that is on, it will sense the wall and try and snap to the wall in some way. So the circle with the little X beside it is the nearest point. If I move it to a corner, you see you just got a circle with a cross through it. And if I move it to the center of the wall, you'll see that little cross disappears. So that's the center of the wall. Alright. So basically I want to bring one from the corner here and just take it, drag it across until it intersects with the other wall. So I just pick another point, and if it intersects, it'll just sort of finish that off, and you'll be sitting there with your mouse ready to pick another wall. So basically I've got a dining room in here, so I'm not worried too much. I'm just approximately picking them there. That's going to be my robe, walk-in robe, and my ensuite. So I'm just coming along, and I've got a bedroom 1 and a living room, and by the looks of this, so basically just continue on. We've got a living, a bedroom, walk-in robe, ensuite, dining room. Now I'm just looking at it again. There's another wall that I can start from this corner here and just drag across and come back down. Doesn't really matter where you come. The entry is from this point here across to there. I've got another one set off that for the kitchen. Right click and go repeat, because there's nothing that's going to lock it into a wall that will allow me to start another point. And then I've got the laundry set back in the garage. I've got your bedroom 2. I've got a robe in bedroom 2. I've got a linen press coming down into the main area there. I've got another bedroom from that point down to here with a robe in it. What else have we got? We've got another hallway coming along from this point to that point. Now I've got a WC, WC from there across to there. You can see I'm not sort of worrying too much. That's wrong, I'll fix it up in a moment. I've got a bathroom through here, and I've got another robe over here. Right click and finish. Now I'll just zoom in on this wall here, touch it, right click and delete, or just touch it and delete your wall with the delete key on your keyboard. You'll also notice that there's a break in that wall, so all I need to do is grab that. I can delete that, then touch this wall, and with that red point, if I hold down when I move over it, I can just drag it down and it'll lock into the other wall. So now I've got the walls in the right, in the approximate design I want. So now I'll just work through. Now if I click on this wall, that dimension should be right, which it is. So it's 3600. The length of this room should be 4500. So if I touch that wall, then touch the dimension, change it to 4500. Now again, work through your building in a logical way. So I tend to start in a corner and work my way right, left, or up, down sort of thing. So I'm just going to work my way across the building. So now if I touch this wall here and make this 4800, it's actually a 3600 by 3600 bedroom one. Now this room here for the ensuite and the walk-in robe, that's 2400. And the outside of the building being correct should end up leaving me this room here being absolutely spot on. The entry should be correct at 1800, which it is. The length of the entry is 5 meters, so if I just touch that and make that 5, that should fix that up. And if I wanted to check on my garage, that should be 6. Okay, so all of that should be okay. Now what's happened there is that sort of mucked that up. So what I might have to do is now start at this end. Now that's going to be correct. So what I want to do is make this one correct. So it's going to be, I'll touch this robe first, the internal of the robe, 530. Now if I grab this room here is going to be 3 meters. This bathroom is going to be 2400. That leaves the WC to be 1 meter, and I'll just put a wall across there to be the wall for the WC. The width of this room is going to be 3060. That leaves the hallway at 1 meter. Where that robe is, I might touch that and I'll make that 1 meter. So my door opens up correctly in it. Come to the robe, make the internal of the robe 530. Touch that small nib wall and make that 1 meter. So I'm sort of just having it generic throughout the building where the robes are. Now let's see, this room here overall should be 3600. Okay, and make that 1 meter, so it just stays the same, and then make the internal of that robe 530. Now I can come in here and say, okay, that garage is going to be 6, and that should leave that 800 recess for the laundry, and basically I've just about got it right. You can see as we've worked our way through, you can see some funny things have happened to the dimensions as we've done it. So all you have to do is push the auto exterior dimensions and say yes to replacing them, and it'll just redo them. So it's quite an easy task just to redimension the external dimensions if you want to. Now just looking at the design, there's only one thing that is not right, and that's the linen press is not in the right position, and this wall here is not absolutely correct. So what I might do is, looking at the design, the linen press wall is a continuation of this wall. So if I just delete that one, and then this one here, just grab that red point, drag it down, grab this wall here, drag it across, and you'll see it's quite easy just to do that. Touch the little piece on the end, delete it, make it 530 internal, and come to this other end wall and give it a length. I think we want to make it about 1800. So that's the linen press sorted out. This wall here for the length of the kitchen, we can just drag along for the time being. I'll show you a couple of tricks with walls on getting these right in the next lesson. So that should do us with that one. Just make sure when you're doing the internal walls, as I mentioned, just try and go through in some sort of logical fashion to make sure you end up going from one end to another, and you'll find that it's much easier to sort the walls out. Thank you.